Oh, no! Yep, one of them did break. What is going on, guys? It is Tyler here with Coelum Farms, and today we're going to be canning cowboy candy. Now, there are many different recipes that you can follow for this, but it's basically candied jalapenos that we're going to put in cans, and we're going to let them sit for 2 to 5 weeks preferably, and that way they can get sweet and spicy and all at once, and it's just delicious, and you can use them in most dishes that you would normally use jalapenos to elevate and add depth to your meals, and an explosive pack of flavor and just deliciousness that you can't get from regular jalapenos. So for this recipe, I'm going to leave it in the description below, but it uses about 3 pounds of jalapenos that you're going to either dice or slice into rings, and it uses 2 cups of apple cider vinegar, 6 cups of sugar, turmeric, cayenne, celery seed, and garlic powder. And again, I'm going to go ahead and leave the actual recipe down below for you guys to follow along. But we're going to go ahead and get our sugar, our apple cider vinegar, and all of our seasonings in a pot, and I'm going to get it on the wood stove and get it up to a simmer. Once you get that up to a simmer, you're going to go ahead and add your either diced or sliced jalapenos to the mix, and then you're going to bring it back to a simmer, and once it's at a simmer, you're going to simmer for about 10 minutes, and then either if you're doing it on an oven, you're going to reduce it to low and let it sit for another 4 minutes once it's being brought up to a simmer, or if you're doing it on an oven or a wood stove, you're just going to pull it off the stove and let it sit for 4 to 5 minutes. Now that we have the jalapenos done, it's simmered, it's cooled, it's sat, we're gonna go ahead and get the jalapenos into our jars. Not the brine yet, we're gonna ladle that over the top once we get the jalapenos in the jars, and we're gonna leave about a 1-inch headspace. So when you put these lids on, you want to make sure you wipe down the rim of the jar with vinegar to make sure it's clean, and at the same time you're checking to make sure there's no cracks or impurities that could prevent a good seal. Then you're gonna put your lids on, and you're going to put the rings on finger tight. Don't over tighten them because you won't seal properly. Don't under tighten them because you're going to lose everything in the jar. So finger tight. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to be water bathing these. So we're going to get our canning pot on, get our water to a rolling boil, and then we're going to be dropping our cans in, and we're going to be processing them for about 10 minutes once it comes to a rolling boil after you put the jars in. So I just pulled my jars out of the canner, and one of the jars broke, and it's unfortunate, but when you're reusing jars over and over again and they're a little older, it does happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that. And thankfully it was the last batch of everything that I was canning for today, so I don't have to worry about the water being contaminated or anything like that. I can just dump it and be done with it. Let's go ahead and get these setting down. Now you want to make sure that you don't put these, directly on a cold surface, because you could cold shock the jars and crack them. You can do cardboard or just a washcloth or a few layers of paper towels, something just to create a little bit of a cushiony barrier between the jar and whatever surface you're going to put them on. And then we're going to let these sit for 12 to 24 hours, and then we will remove the rings from them at that time and store them accordingly. So after you pull them out, again, you want to let these sit for at least 12 hours. So I like to let mine sit overnight, and then I usually just take care of them in the morning. At that time, you can pull off your rings, and it already looks like all of our jars have popped their tops, or sealed, sucked in their little tabs, whatever you want to call it. But after these sit and you take the rings off and you set them on in your storage, in your pantry, you want to let them sit and marinate for at least 2 weeks. Preferably 4 to 5 weeks. You want to let these sit and marinate, and that's when they're going to be at their prime. So if you make these and you like them, go ahead and leave a comment. If you like this video, make sure you like this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So we're going to start doing uploads every Wednesday and every Friday, and Fridays for a little while are going to be fermentation Friday, and that's going to be the first one starting tomorrow. So super excited for that, and I hope to see you there. Have a good one, guys.